existence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Black podcast. This is a podcast focused on all things Massiveverse by Kyle Higgins, Marcelo Costa, Becca Carey, and Michael Basudel. Today, we are going to be discussing the amazing Dead Lucky, and it's actually going to be a twofer because we're going to be talking about issues 3 and 4. I'm joined today by my friends and my fellow co-hosts, Charlie and Ali. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm excited. We got a couple awesome issues. Was wanting to. I know we were trying to talk about this earlier, but it's been absolute crazy season. In real life, haven't got much time to meet together. But yeah, no, excited to talk about these couple issues here. And yeah, I've been having a pretty good time at work this week, and made it to my first NBA game earlier this week to see my Cleveland team up here in Toronto. So that was a blast, even though they lost, but it was good seeing them. And yeah, I can't wait to dive into these.
Yeah, I'm doing good too. Just got back from Thanksgiving, ate a lot. I'm very full. I hope everyone in the US had a good Thanksgiving too. Got a double feature today, like Bash said, and Dead Lucky's getting spicy, right, guys?
Very.
Oh,
very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't, I've been so busy with work, but the only notable thing I've done really in the last few weeks, at least comic-wise related, is during those damn Badtober sales, I actually got one of the Insomnia ones.
Oh,
It's
good
very
for you.
expensive.
Good for you.
So
Worth
expensive,
it.
man.
Worth it.
Yeah, it was
Know how
worth
much
it.
you love that dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no,
my
that's-
favorite artist, so
Yeah,
I'm like, whew.
It's gotta get framed.
Yeah.
So you had to send it to a US address?
I sent it to Ali.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Good
dude,
man. Good man.
Yeah, I couldn't doesn't ship to anywhere but America, so I found a
Yeah.
slight way around that. Thankfully, I appreciate Ali helping me. I
okay.
think he understood it was for the greater good of the cause.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
No,
awesome.
but it was I was very happy.
Which one was it?
It's one of the Robins, one with the ninjas and Batman's hand on
nice.
his back. Yeah, I wanted to get one.
They're all
with
gorgeous, but yeah,
Dick
that's
Grayson.
awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, it was between, for me, it was between that or getting a commission from Erica Dorso, because
Cool.
I was looking at her what do you call it, her Instagram, her Twitter, and she was posting that her commissions are going to open up, and they did.
Oh,
And so I was really considering getting a commission. But then I was like, if I'll just try for Insomnia. I didn't really expect to win, completely honest. I really didn't expect to win, but I was like, YOLO, fuck it. So I tried and got lucky. And I was like, you know what? I can get a commission next time because she's still young, right?
yeah. Yeah,
It's
no,
just-
congrats. Yeah, no, that's a big pickup for sure.
I'm so
Good
yeah,
stuff.
no, it's fantastic. So now let's talk about the incredible Dead Lucky. I know Charlie loves this book. We love this book. And you know what? I've been seeing a lot of people on social media say not a lot of people are talking about this book. That's true, in the sense that it's underrated and more people should be talking about it. But you know what? If you want to get your Dead Lucky fix, there's a lot of good people covering it. We're covering it right here. You got ODPH Pod doing amazing things, covering Dead Lucky, always on time with their reviews as well. Love what they're doing over there. So check that out as well. And without further ado, let's get into issue 3.
Actually, quickly before getting into that, just you mentioning that, I found this really cool. I think it was a few weeks ago. Comics Through the Multiverse. It's like a DC podcast, and they do this top 10 comicsology every week and stuff. They do a top 10 list, and for the first time ever, it's always X-Men DC. It's always the same stuff. But I think it was Dead Lucky 3. It was number 8 or something on the list, and they were like, oh shit. They were like, oh, I don't know what this is, but it looks really cool. And then they were looking into it, talking about it. But I just thought that was just that bigger exposure. I've never heard that on a DC podcast like that. So that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, Melissa, Mattia, French, Becca, they're all killing it.
And they definitely deserve it. The work they put into this book, the
100%.
quality
Dude,
comes out
Becca's
week in,
doing
week out.
so many books. How does she live?
She's killing it
not
on
a-
so many books.
yeah,
It's not. Yeah.
Like, how are you like living? Like, is you just constantly on coffee or something? Because like, I just look. She does so many books, and by the way, like, big fan of Kelly Thompson, the writer who works for Marvel, Image, Boom. I think Boom. She's done stuff with Boom. Not sure, but she's done several different comic books. Right now, she's writing Captain Marvel, one of my favorite ongoings, and she's actually doing a book with Meredith McLaren and Becca Carey called Black Cloak, and it looks awesome. It's going to be a triple length first issue for 4.99. I'm gonna check it out, and it's not an advertisement. I'm just telling you because I like it. So, and Becca Carey is awesome, of course, to
Yeah.
support. But yeah, without further ado, our team is Melissa Flores, writer, artist French Carlo Magno, colorist Mattia Iacono, letterer Rebecca Carey, and issue 3 titled is it Terminal? No, sorry, it's titled The Dead Don't Want Me. So let's do this. I really like this Mara opening, and that's how this issue opens up. Like, you get this like almost advertisement for Morrow in the background while you're getting this, like, these different shots of the impact they're having on the city. Obviously, it's becoming this somewhat like a dystopian city. There's security, like over the top security everywhere, which is ironic because we saw that article that both Kyle posted and we posted on
Yeah.
the Discord before about like San Francisco using like armed robots
Yeah.
as police officers and things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
that was absolutely ridiculous. And I actually I just wanted to say on this very first page here, like only this like series, like this universe makes me look into this stuff, but 48 15, like the address, like I just searched it up, like kind of what it meant, and like I was seeing some stuff about like it's an angel number 48 15. I don't know what angel number mean, but apparently it's summarized like as like enhancement, judging, and like control. It's like something to do with that, or but yeah, I don't really know really about it, but it's but it was like really about just like needing to manage your emotions, coping well, and like controlling things. So there's some deeper meaning into that, but there always is. We saw that cool thing in issue 1, that Matt and Natalie picked up, and there's always cool little things. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
nice. Yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, so like it's basically Morrow's everywhere though, right? Like they're in your
Yeah.
home, the streets, they're in your offices.
It's the
And
Alexa,
here
the cars, the security, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, those cars are pretty sweet too. Those freaking full glass around the whole like door. Just like looks like it folds up, but looks like they're fully self-driving and everything. They got all their more speaks.
There's no wheel.
Yeah.
There's no wheel in the car. He's just sitting there.
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's definitely a self-driving, but yeah, no, it's definitely some cool technology going on here for sure. And we get to meet more of Mr. Moss in this issue. We've been really curious about. We saw him on that billboard, I think during issue 2, and now we get a more deep dive into him.
Yeah,
I'm
that's quite the temper actually.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely interested in these like augmentations he has. Like he has these wires going up his neck and on his hands and arms. I wonder what they actually do other than just being like, I guess, like a phone or a speaker in his ear. There has to be some more
Yeah,
of it.
All
I
right.
definitely can expect like some kind of Android
yeah.
Morrow Jimmy
Some
Moss kind
the Blade Runner shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
definitely.
looks like this girl with the blue hair too has kind of the same thing
Yeah.
going on here, but not everyone in the meeting has that, so I guess maybe only a select few get the treatment. But no, and then we see some of those Black Adam inner gang bikes they're designing. That's what that reminded me of, those flyer bots.
Yeah.
You can get them around the city super fast. But no, just like yeah, this whole conversation, like Bash said, like this guy's just like super unhinged, but he's like almost like he's calm in a way. Like he's unhinged. He snaps a pen and then he's just like kind of back in it. He just wants to control. And I thought just his motives were kind of a little I don't know, a little like I didn't really know what he wants still, and I think it's supposed to be kind of a mystery. But I think that's what makes it interesting.
I like how like I thought this was a really well written issue because I like how he acts on this. Like, okay, let's engineer that mistake. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And the way he goes about it is very intelligent. Like he uses a lot of BB's strengths against her, and I think it's like a well-written antagonist in that regard. So at least I'm assuming right now he's antagonist based on everything, obviously. But yeah, he's obviously the bad guy working tomorrow. But I do appreciate also just Matthias' colors overall. This book is always super colorful, and even on the pages where you feel like they're more, they're just ordinary pages, them talking in an office, that planning, still like beautiful colors. Got some gorgeous lighting up in there. Well, just I appreciate how colorful this book is. I really do. It's a visual feast.
Yeah, it's definitely on that brighter side. Like this is definitely, and it kind of looks like we've seen those preview pages of Inferno Girl. That book is super bright. Radiant Black is super bright. Rogue Sun is a little darker, but they've all got their own little taste. This one's got a little more like teals and purples and kind of colors like that in there. But no, some of the scapes we get later on, like not skipping too far ahead, but like to the bridge, like some of the landscapes that they show is just perfect. Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, and next up we're back at the restaurant with Chad McSQ, and we're seeing that Maria's with
Eddie and
Yeah,
BB.
BB. Yeah, yeah,
Eddie
Eddie
and
and
BB.
BB, and they're actually talking about, they're catching up, debriefing, talking about what happened, and it's interesting to me because you're seeing slowly like Maria become one of the group, you know what I mean? Like joining, I guess, what she calls later, the part of the army against Morrow. So, or in the battle against Morrow as well. So, I like this whole. I like how the gradual on like integration of Maria into the team. Slowly them trusting her. I also I find it really interesting that yeah, you finally like this is the issue where Melissa answers our question, the one we've had over the past few issues regarding like is she talking to herself? Is she breaking the fourth wall? No, she's actually talking to Spaceman, Tanky, and Ghost.
Yep.
The Yeah, so I thought that was a big revelation, but I feel like one we already discussed here, but it was good to get a confirmation, and I'm obviously super intrigued in that aspect of it. And I do want to get your guys' opinion. Like, what do you think about this whole Jinx looking lady, like Jinx from League of Legends? Like when he goes to the
The
yeah
one
to
with
the
the
place to
rain
exchange
shirt.
his
Yeah.
stash. Yeah, like I thought that was really cool. Like I want to see more of that character. I don't know. Did they say what
That's
her
what
name?
I thought too. I was like, there's no way she's just like a shopkeeper that like sells illegal Marotech or whatever. There has
Yeah.
to be more to her than just that.
Yeah, kind of gives me like Miracle Molly vibes or something a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, she's definitely an interesting character, and it just shows more like Eddie's kind of history with them. But this definitely like made me kind of realize, and we get into this a little more next issue, and just made me question the Salvation Gang is against Moro, but why is BB in that? So like what's the Salvation Gang's angle at all this? Like what's so wrong with them? Like what like are they actually bad? Like you know what I mean? Like if you actually really think about it. So that was kind of just here kind of made me kind of question that.
I'm not sure if it was this issue or the next one, but I'm pretty sure the way Morrow at least justified it is that they're also into like dealing drugs and distributing
Yeah,
them in the city. So that
Oh,
might be
okay.
like the
Okay.
only legitimate thing they have against them, I guess. But I think for the most part, it's just that they are fighting against Morrow.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I
for
do
sure.
I do want to add real quick too. One thing that really stood out to me in this issue is that I feel like we get a lot more of BB's personality because the first two issues she was kind of to herself, still
Yeah.
adjusting to being back in San Francisco and normal life and whatever. And then here, one of my favorite parts is when they're in the restaurant, and he's like, Eddie says, you say I'm naive. You never change. A hot person comes along, and then she does that like, put your hair
Yeah, that was
behind your ear
funny.
like a little.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
that was funny.
that was pretty cute too.
That was good.
Getting
I was gonna bring that up. Do you think Eddie and BB are both kind of like into her a little bit? That's kind of the
Eddie.
way
That's
I
the
see.
thing.
No,
Eddie has a
Eddie
girlfriend,
Eddie
doesn't he?
has a
Oh,
girlfriend.
okay. Eddie
Yeah.
has a girlfriend. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
forgot.
at
Okay.
least, yeah, at
Yeah, no,
least I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he
You're
has.
right. You're right.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like the plus, like it seems Maria and Bibiana like have chemistry. You know, they get
Definitely.
like a little fingers bump into each other
Oh
here,
yeah,
right? In this issue, you know, they
yeah.
get a little moment, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm not really worried about me."
They're
You
they're
know,
definitely
she's
teasing it. They're definitely teasing it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
100%,
yeah.
100%.
I
And
I
I just want to point out too, there's always something about the shading with her afro too that always just looks like just spot on. I don't know what it is, but does it with like none of the other hair, but it's just with her afro, and it
Yeah,
looks
it's a
really
little
good.
like sheen. Yeah,
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah,
really cool. Yeah, hell
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
I think honestly, who wait, is this the girl? Kane. Yeah, Kane and Valentine are both super badass. But this Valentine chick reminds me of Wesker from Resident Evil. Just like
it's the
straight
hair,
up,
isn't
like
it?
it's the hair, the sunglasses, the dark
yeah,
clothing, the dark skin tight clothing. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like
yeah.
the whole ambiance, the whole general like the scanning. Oh my, like I don't know. I really like Kane a lot, and I'm like one of my definitely I think my one of my if not my favorite character in this series, and it's made a huge impression on me in these few pages. I like the whole like just the whole Blade Runner aspect of it all. I like how she's scanning everything. It's like it reminds me of some of my favorite sci-fis over the years. You know, aspects of RoboCop, Minority
Yeah,
Report,
yeah,
Blade
yeah,
Runner. You know, things like that.
yeah,
Like it's just so well done. Also, but it's very much in her own, sorry, in their own way. And you know, Melissa, French, Mattia, Becca, they're all doing something in their own way, but like you know, using elements of those sci-fi tropes that we love. So I love seeing that, and I honestly I'm also I'm well I was liking Officer Garcia before, but I really like her more because I just like how level-headed she is. You know what I mean? Like she's cautious but very firm, and I like that. Like she has a strong personality, and honestly, I'm very curious, like what happens more. I do agree with you guys that there's obviously like a romantic setup here, but I'm curious whether like I don't know, man. Like, is it gonna get real dark where she's like, you know, she's like a double agent kind of thing for
Oh
Morrow?
no.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Or is it like,
yeah.
are they gonna just
She's the
use her
most committed out of anyone. She's
exactly?
that could be pretty sneaky for
Or even
sure.
if they don't do that though, like even if it's just like no, they actually do really have feelings for each other, then I'm worried for them because then like 100%
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Mars
I would
gonna
say that's
be yeah,
probably more
hey,
likely. But
yeah,
yeah,
especially
who
since what's
knows?
her name calls her out on it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Valentine, she's like, oh, like I see you're close to the electric chick or whatever, Bibiana. It's just like whoa. So they've been like keeping a close eye on that, you know, like so
Yeah.
that's not good at all.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what Eddie thinks too. He seems to have like some kind of, he feels protective of Bibiana, and he's
Yeah.
a little wary of this new person that's just in their lives now and totally on their side, especially that they work for Morrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and we still don't know like his like hatred toward like he said like we've heard like he's gone through Morrow like while BB was away like out at battle and like in war like he was back here dealing with Morrow and like so we don't really know everything what he's gone through so I guess he has the right to be suspicious a little bit but yeah no, I think it's fair, and I think it's right for BB to trust her. She's helped her out, and she could have arrested her, and she didn't. But yeah, I just wanted to mention too this place Lopez brings BB to like when she used to go to the academy. She didn't have an easy time, but she used to come to this spot to watch over the bridge to kind of just like peace out and get her mind off everything and she brings BB there and it looks absolutely amazing but it kind of just reminded me of like the bat signal, like this is gonna be the new meetup spot, like Jim Gordon, Batman, they're gonna be meeting up here in this spot like every time. So I like that. I do like that for sure.
That's interesting.
If that does happen, I'm hoping that someone at some point calls BB in costume Dead Lucky, because so far she's just like the Electric Girl or whatever,
Yeah,
like when Radiant Black first got his powers, he went on Twitter, he trademarked that name, like he started doing ads. He did not waste any time, but I can't wait for the moment where she's finally given the moniker like the Dead Lucky.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do that too. I'm curious,
Yeah.
but I'm like, also we bring up the suspicious like nature of Valentine and Maria, but we see like Valentine texting Maria like, "Where are you?" And Maria replies like, "It's my day off," and Valentine's like, "I need you. Come meet me." And Valentine like, "It's important," and when we don't get to see what Maria's gonna reply to that, because at that point she's having drinks with Eddie, right? And that's where like she gets closer, and that's where we as readers get more insight into the revelation of Bibiana and her ghosts. And that's where Eddie's like, no, she's only talking to her ghosts. She's living in like her own like world, you know? And I really like the use of technology in this book in terms of like showing how daunting and scary it could be. I like these little like drones that fly that are camo. Reminds me a lot of like future state stuff from DC, and it fits really well into the whole Morrow landscape. So yeah, it's really cool to see them just like zapping around. I love the little glow you see when she grabs onto her dog tag, and you see like, it's almost like she's powering up. That's her way of,
Yeah,
because
that was cool.
we've talked about how like other heroes power up. We've got like Inferno Ignite for Inferno Go Red. We've got Radiant Black just like grabbing his thing and saying transform. And then Rogue Sun, I don't know if he says anything. I think he just transforms into the night, I think. And then here we see her grab her dog tag, and I think that's really cool and
Yeah.
fitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. And just kind of noticing now, I don't know what these drones are made of, but they're actually transparent. So you can actually see through them. So I don't know
Yeah.
what they're made out of, but that's kind of a cool touch there.
Yeah. I love that page, the next page, when you get to see her suit up. Like it's just like an incredible page with Ghost in the background, and she's just in the suit, got the, her
Yeah.
hands are glowing, cackling with electricity. It's such a nice page. At this point, it's just French Matai just showing off, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
it was a good build up too. Like we didn't really know. I don't think Ghost has ever ever traveled that far by itself.
Oh.
For sure. But no, it was cool. Like the anticipation, like it was kind of off in the distance, is like the Tony calling the Iron Man suit from his headquarters, right? Like it coming
yeah.
all the way to her. And no, that full page was just gorgeous. Goes in the back, kind of copying her stance there, and some pretty badass action following up this.
Yeah, and we see it's a mess downtown. This is the mistake that Jeremy Moss was talking about engineering. We're seeing their plan is going into full effect. They're trying to draw Bibiana out. They do that successfully by endangering civilians, endangering her family near GMXQ, and we've obviously we see the Morrow bots everywhere. Bibiana is she's in the heat of it right now. She's battling. It's intense, and it's obviously traumatic because she's worried about her family. There's explosions everywhere, laser shots from the drones. There's her family's restaurant. Their entire basically the way they make a living is in danger right now. Their very lives are in danger, and not just them. Obviously, we said everyone on the street. Lots of explosions. Honestly, I was on the edge of my seat like during this time. I was really
So
genuinely worried. So
did
'cause
they
we've seen them do crazy shit right in the Massiverse. Like they'll kill people off. So I'm just saying.
so they
Yeah.
they set that bot to self-destruct, right? That's what happened?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It says overheat imminent. So
Mm.
I think the bot just overheated. But yeah, it could have been that they set it to self-destruct. You're right, or they might have just sent like a sensitive bot in there.
Because like think about it, like they're supposed to be like super technologically advanced, and
No, but I think they want to get it on camera that she somehow like made a mistake, right? Like so
yeah.
she
But they
punched the
did it on
bot.
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No,
Yeah,
100%.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, they did it
Yeah,
on purpose.
Lee says like, yes, it sees ghosts, like the bot sees ghosts, and then immediately alert, new threat detected, and then it says overheat, stand clear, boom. So yeah, they definitely set that one up. But I just love these bots are like. They just like I can just hear them in kind of like the drone, like the clone voice or the droid voice. I mean, from episode 1 or 2. But just hearing like the bot come up to this dude saying, "Do not panic, civilian. Do not move," and he's just shitting his pants on the ground. It's like, what do you expect? Like, but he's not like it's not the most calming thing, the most reassuring thing. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. RoboCop, reminds me of RoboCop a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
ways. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Fair.
I
I
love
wonder.
I wait, go ahead.
No, I wonder if any of the bots or even the flying drones heard her say "mom and dad" because she screams "mom and dad,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. No, I think she's like screwed like next issue or at least the
Yeah.
issue after that. I mean, I think they know for sure, but we'll get into that later. But one thing that I think is incredible, and I was waiting for something like this to happen, or at least I was thinking it would happen because of what we've been seeing and set up in previous issues. But here we get like a flashback, and I just want to say, first of all, this is handled incredibly. Second, I want to say that the coloring, like toning out all the bright colors and dampening them in a way, and applying this like green, somewhat greenish overlay, right, to invoke the fact that it's a flashback, is really well done. I like that choice, and I thought it was executed perfectly. And I don't know, man, this was intense. Like I was genuinely like, this was in a way almost tough to read because I was so worried. Like I was just like, we've seen what they did to Nathan, we've seen what they did to other characters, and I genuinely thought that Melissa was gonna kill off one of her parents here.
Yeah, I
Like
thought so too. I thought that was coming for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was gonna. Yeah, I thought that was gonna trigger something, and that was kind of gonna be her kind of going off moment. But I like the way they set this up and just
yeah.
showing how powerful she is too.
I think that page, it's like a double page spread,
Yeah,
but in many, there's so many different panels on this page. Like
yeah,
it's an unconventional layout. I think this is my favorite page of all of Dead Lucky. Yeah, this
yeah,
page packs so much power and emotion into it. There's just so much happening, but it's done in such a it's handled in such perfect succession that when you read it, it flows perfectly. You're very in sync with what's happening. Like, I don't know, man. I could almost like feel it. Like I don't know how to explain. Like it was just so well done. I love
yeah,
this layout. I thought like even the placement of the flashbacks, as they're interchanging as she's experiencing like the traumatic moments as she's trying to save her parents and herself. As she's screaming for help from her crew. It's just a lot of emotion on this page. There's obviously the colors, man. Mattia kills it. Everyone kills it on this page. Like I don't know. This is an incredible page. I really, I found myself looking at this page for most of the
yeah.
issue just because I was like, you know, blown away. So yeah,
Yeah, I definitely might have to agree with you on that one. If not number one, it's definitely up there for sure. But like the build up to it too, yeah, just like seeing the explosion, kind of just like triggering her PTSD. That and
yeah,
the colors, like the green, kind of just washed over there too.
yeah. Dude,
Just
the colors
really
are
really well done.
insane. Like
Oh,
the colors are
Yes,
insane.
it's
Like
yeah.
it's just like elite. Like get this man on a Green Lantern book because he would kill.
Oh
He would like
yes.
slay it on a
Oh
Green
yeah.
Lantern book. You know what I mean? Like
That'd
he
be
would slay.
ridiculous.
He would just have so much fun drawing all that, the space stuff. Like look at the colors are insane. I don't know, man. There's just so like even the little particle effects and there's almost like tiny bits of Kirby crackle mixed with chromatic
Yeah.
aberration that happens around like her electric like charging when it zooms in on the fists, and I'm just like I love those little moments. I love them so much, and it reminds me also of that shirt we saw at the end of the issue that you mentioned that's on sale for that month for the Massiverse merch store, where it's like it shows all their powers with their hands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that too. So I don't know, this was an incredible issue for me. Like this was the issue that like for me, it was just like, yeah, I'm like, I love this series now. Like, it's similar to like Radiant Black and Rogue Sun, where it's like around issue 4, where it's just like, whoa, this is the next level mic drop moment. And here you could tell this was the setup. I was honestly a little bit pissed at like this was the last page because I was like, oh, I wanted more. And
Yes,
I hate when
I felt the
yeah.
same. We needed more answers
She's
after
about to
this
go
one,
Super
but
Saiyan, bro.
Yeah,
it was cool.
exactly.
It was cool.
No, dude, I was just like, are you really gonna like leave me on a cliffhanger on
Yeah.
whether like her mom is dead or not? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I was like, oh.
Unfortunately, sometimes, the best books definitely like to leave you on those cliffs, and
No, but I
this
understand.
one
I'm
definitely.
not
Oh,
criticizing.
100%,
I'm saying it was a
100%.
good choice. I'm just
Oh,
saying I
100%.
was feeling
It
it.
sucks. It sucks for
Yeah,
our sake.
yeah,
But yeah, no, no, it was an awesome ending for sure. And just seeing a bunch of different, like, I think max we've seen is like three ghosts up to this point. And I remember I was like, oh, like, how many ghosts does she have? Like, I was like trying to count out, like, oh, she had 3 ghosts, who's who. But yeah, we kind of get a look like, yeah, there's more than we thought. And yeah, we get a little more look into that next issue, which
yeah.
is
I think those 3 main ones, like her closest platoon members,
yeah,
was a
I would
Tank,
agree.
Ghost, and who was the last
Tank
one?
goes, and I forget.
I think they say in the next issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah.
I want to just give a shout out to Sandra Wynn and the monthly rations installation. They came into the Dead Lucky issue. That's right. If you buy this book, not only are you getting an incredible book, uh, just awesome comic book, but you also get some incredible recipes. And the recipe for this issue was puffy smoked duck tacos with mango habanero and salsa, a mango habanero salsa. Like, tell me that doesn't sound incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much does. All these, I just, yeah, I could get used to all these different recipes. I don't know if they can run out or whatever, but
All I'm saying is next
yeah, keep them
year
coming.
when they do the next like meetup at the bar in Chicago after C2E2, we need to have like a pop-up chime
Oh,
execute truck or restaurant or something that serves these things.
yeah,
You gotta make it happen.
We gotta
that's
have like
incredible. I
if
like
if
that.
if we do have Supermassive 2 be like if it's gonna be where BB's at, if it's gonna be in San Francisco, or even if it's not, I would love, you know how like in Avengers 1 we had the shawarma thing at the end, and then
Yeah.
in the Supermassive 1 we had the Waffle House thing. Please,
Yes.
please, Team Massiverse, let them do the Chive Execute thing, like the whole, just everyone at Supermassive just eating together at Chive Execute. That would be the ice. That would be the cherry on top. That would truly be like perfection. If we could get that at some point in the future, like in the next year or 2 or 3, that would be. I would love. That would be like the best Thanksgiving poster, Christmas like poster, whatever. You could do that for like even just a regular poster of just like, a themed poster of just the entire like a Massiverse cast like having a dinner together there. Like, oh my god, dude, I would love that. I'm just saying.
Make it
Definitely
happen,
agree.
guys. Make it happen.
Yes, repeat everything. Yes, everything you said. Definitely agree with. But yeah.
Like you would just see Dylan pissing BB off. You like totally see it happening.
Oh, 100%. All these little dynamics throughout all the books. Yeah, no, we got some gold just waiting to happen. But yeah, this I don't know. You guys want to jump into the next one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
get
I
it
want to
going.
actually point out something really cool.
Yeah,
And
what's that?
if you're so obviously we're moving our discussion on to the Dead Lucky number 4 right now, same creative team, and everyone is the same doing everything. So we don't have to mention them again because we did earlier. But before we go into that, I just want to say that this cover, first of all, beyond just being really, really cool, is actually it reminds me a lot, and I say that in like it's just a cool like homage kind of way of the Neil Adams cover is he did back in the day for the Green Lantern run when Green Lantern and Green Arrow um were
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, when they used to cross over together, like it looks a lot like that. So I think it's
yeah.
like those kind of covers where you had like those different backgrounds where they're toned down, things like that. I really do love this kind of cover, and I just thought it was cool, given like it actually, in a lot of ways conveys, what's about to happen in the issue. But yeah, title for this issue, They Sit Like Scars. And we get the same creative team. So Melissa Flores writing, French Calamagno art, Mattia Iacona colorist. And sorry, we have assistant. It says flat assistant. I'm just going to assume that's coloring assistant or something. And that's Luca Mattioni. And we have letter, Becca Carey, of course. And yeah, we're going to pick up right where we left off last issue, explosion at Chamex in Chinatown, San Francisco. This time we're seeing it through the eyes of Eddie and Maria, and we're a little bit we're actually a minute or two ahead of where we left off last issue. So we see that not only is Bibi okay, but she's in full Dead Lucky costume. She's not only rescued her mother and father, but she's actually used her electrical current powers to take over the Marobots and take full control over them, which I think is a super cool power.
And she's flying.
Oh yeah, and she's flying.
Yeah, just levitating there like an absolute beast. But no, this was such a cool page, and it kind of I don't know, it's Vita Ayala's Static Shock, I think it was, like the one that recently just came out, but that's what the like talking back to that electricity, like that's kind of that digital art, like it can do so many good things with the colors and everything, and it just looks absolutely awesome. But yeah, this whole squad of bots, yeah, she's not messing around anymore.
Yeah, make no mistake, I have experienced a great amount of relief that Mrs. Yang and Mrs. Lopez and Mr. Yang are actually okay, and that they're both alive.
Yeah,
Like I can unclench now because because man, yeah, I was genuinely like worried about that. Like we've already, BB's already gone through so much, and they to add that on top of everything else, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to read like more of
yeah,
that kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
would have
but
been
no,
heartbreaking.
yeah. Thankfully, she rescues her parents. I don't know what to say about Chime XQ though. It looks like they're gonna have some serious damage repair bills and some serious insurance claims to make, because it looks pretty toasted, unfortunately, and that really makes me sad. But the most important thing is that everyone's still alive, and it's interesting because right after we go to Mill Valley, San Francisco, to Mr. Moss himself, who just is bathing, in a hot tub, it seems, right?
Ice bath.
Ice
Yeah,
bath. Ice
yeah, I
bath.
was gonna ask you. Yeah, the
Okay.
texture kind of
Oh
looks
yeah,
like an
yeah,
ice
yeah.
bath
Okay,
a
I
little
was,
bit.
it's honestly my fault. I was looking at it. No, it looks like an
No,
ice bath.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what they were going for. But yeah, it just shows this guy. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I think you see a little kind of like mist, or I don't know.
Ice cubes.
Yeah, the ice cube.
No,
Yeah.
like stuff coming out of his mouth. I don't know. I'm blanking on this. Just like
Oh,
his breath.
yeah,
You
yeah.
see his breath a little
Oh
bit,
yeah.
like out of
Yeah.
his mouth, just showing how cold it is. But he kind of looks unfazed. Like I don't
Also,
know, but also you see his shirt off here, and you see he has more wires like just everywhere down his chest, on his arms, like
Yeah.
just everywhere. So yeah, it's
No,
kind of cool.
it's interesting. Yeah, like I wonder why he's in an ice bath. Is it like for the reasons, most people in these things go in ice baths, like Daredevil
Yeah, I don't
shit,
know.
or
Yeah.
is it like he's cooling his like coils on the inside?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
Doesn't have good self-cooling on the inside, so yeah, once a day he's just gotta hop in there, cool down, and back to work. But no, this was just cool, and seeing that like device on his neck too, like just power up, like just I'm curious to
is that
see what else
USB?
we're gonna do. I don't think it's a USB. It looks I think it's
Probably
like
USB
definitely
5
a
yeah.
lot more
Yeah.
advanced than that, but like yeah, just I have no idea. Like he just touches his neck and he's kind of just on the call with the mayor. So that was kind of cool. This guy's just an AI to
Man's like
himself.
he's a Terminator. He's like a
Yeah.
half android.
This guy got the
Yeah.
Elon. This guy got the Elon chip.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah, there we go.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So no, hold on. That's a funny comparison. I come to think of it in a lot of ways. Like
Kind of, yeah.
we are critiquing that kind of thing in this book. So I'm glad you brought that angle. But yeah, back to another part of Mill Valley. I'm assuming Morrow HQ or something. It says, what does it say? It says something about work hard, play hard. Yeah, in the background there. So there's like some motivation. Obviously they're in the gym. We see is it Valentine? Yeah, Valentine and Officer Garcia are talking, And that's where she tells her, man, like, you see there's obviously some tension between the two. They're kind of disagreeing. She's kind of telling her, like, okay, like, we could do this now. And she was saying, but that's not the point. That's not just, and she's saying, there's something called due process. But then she's like, look, I know you care about the rules, but like, a badge. What does she say? I really like this line. She says, a badge is antiquated and corrupt. I know you like to play by the rules, and that's great, but there's a better game. Maybe that's why you're so partial to the electric lady, huh? She's not worried about the consequences. Appealing, isn't it? But little does she know that hits on more than just one level for Maria.
You're not wrong there. Not wrong there. No, this conversation was cool, and yeah, we see more of that wire stuff on Valentine here. I don't know if I noticed that before. I probably did, but yeah, just seeing she's got some tech in her as well. So yeah, they're all kind of connected, maybe all to one grid. Yeah, curious to see what that's about. Yeah, and going on to that page, I think you posted this one on Twitter today, Bash. I like that one. Like responding to that article.
Dude,
that was
this
good.
page, this is another
So
one of my
good.
favorite pages. Like, yeah, this page, amazing, just showing off Spaceman, Tanky, Ghost, and Bibiana, but also like that little zoom in on her face with what the absolute fuck. I love that. I love that so much.
That's awesome.
Thank you for that, Melissa. It's now gonna be a sticker on the Radiant Black Discord, so we can forever, utilize it and refer back to it because it's such an amazing image. But also, like, I like how she has that what the fuck moment like several times throughout this issue. I like that she's finally like, no, give us the answer, because it's almost like in a way she's like us, like with the readers, like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, yeah, she's echoing our sentiments. But I also like, for the first time, this was a huge revelation that kind of like had me like, whoa, like this was a big shock for me. Well, I expected something in terms of like something supernatural or surreal because of her powers being, like, I don't know where they come from, but this just surprised me because it was so cool, where she goes to that, it looks like a graveyard, but like it's almost like, where do they go in Black Panther? When they take
like the spirit realm.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
the ancestral plane.
Ancestral plane, yeah. And it reflects her ancestry too. You can see like the sugar skulls, you can see the Chinese dragon flying around, the candles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I wasn't expecting this, and yeah, just going around the rest of the Massiverse, like we're used to these big issue 4s, and this one definitely followed along, like answered a lot of questions we had, just and this stuff, like I wasn't even like. Yeah, wasn't predicting any of this kind of cosmic
stuff.
The
lettering is amazing.
Yeah, yes, I love how they
look at how she makes like the what the fuck huge in the next page to emphasize the how frustrated Bibiana is and how flustered and surprised she is at that moment. But also, I love how she switches the fonts for the Marobots whenever they talk. It's like super robotic font. You know what I mean? I love these little touches that they add, but also like the text in general, like, because there's so many, they hop between so many different parts of San Francisco this issue, just to highlight different parts of San Francisco and what's going on. And I like that, like, text. I don't know, it's just such a well illustrated, well packaged book overall. It's very, very, it's beautiful, very colorful as well, which I think it's not, like we said before, that it's like kind of cyberpunky. In a very little way, you know what I mean? Not really. I wouldn't say it's as cyberpunky as like Future State or Miracle Molly, even though I agree with you that there are elements of that in here for sure, 100%. But it's more just like slight aesthetics. I think it's more like the RoboCop Minority Report we talked about, right? Where it's more like dystopian, and futuristic. Yeah. But I do maybe who knows, maybe one day we will get more.
It's like somewhere in between, you know.
Exactly.
It's not either one, but it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Is that new? That's did they ever say a name for that woman where Jimmy goes to give her the parts to get like something? Did they ever have a name for her? Because like that, like she looked kind of cyberpunky, a little bit more so than the other characters, in my opinion. And then Jimmy Moss kind of looks like a bit cyberpunky, right?
Corporate cyberpunk.
Yeah, corporate cyberpunk, exactly. Yeah. So it's like he doesn't look like he looks almost like an android kind of thing. It's scary. But yeah, the
Yeah,
tallow, the
yeah.
tallow type shit, you know.
Freaking terrifying. My hope, honestly, I this could be a stretch, but if this like just thinking now, like if this realm's like some spiritual realm connected to existence or something, but that's I don't know. They could do
Oh,
that way down the
Oh,
line. That's always something they
that's
could
very
dive into.
interesting.
Maybe supermassive. They could dive into the different realms. Cat because you still got the crystal menagerie. We got this now. We got existence. We got so many different dimensions. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
yeah, love it.
People say like this doesn't feel like a massive verse book, but in a lot of ways, I agree and disagree. Like I agree in the sense that like it is very unique. It isn't like the other, like Rogue
but isn't
Sun.
every book like that?
I'd
Yeah,
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 I'd argue that's
I
what makes it
agree.
feel like a massive verse
Exactly,
book. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
about to say. It's like it feels like a massive verse because it's massive and it can incorporate all these different elements, these themes, these different kinds of worlds, and still find a way to seamlessly blend all of them together and give you something amazing. And that's what we got in Supermassive. And then we got a little bit of taste of that in Radiant Black and Rogue Sun, where we see like Ari, right, crossing over in that
Hmm.
Radiant Black 18 issue and that futuristic thing with when she's with Wendell. So there is a lot of that really cool setup. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I love that. I love how unique this book is. I love that it's like it's very different from the other books. I like that it's exploring different themes, focusing on entirely different characters. And I just I've said this before. It is well illustrated, obviously. Like French's inks are gorgeous, but I love how colorful this book is. I love that the Mattia truly like knocks it out of the park every single issue. Like it's for me, it's always so exciting to get this book and open it. Like just even looking at the cover because the cover is always gorgeous, but just to
Yeah.
open it, 'cause
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
it's just such an explosion of colors. It's so beautiful. And yeah, no, I really did. I like that part of the issue. So yeah, right now we're looking through the different districts, right, in San Francisco, and we're seeing how basically the Marobots are going ham right now. They're forcing everybody to comply. They say, there's even one part like we thank you for your cooperation, but it doesn't look like the person has much of a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
very
expression.
very peacefully, eh? Like just dragging this dude on the ground. Please, this is for your own safety. Yeah, you'll
You,
be
I mean, you
okay.
could you could
You'll be
even
okay.
relate to this in a lot of ways, having been someone like depending on where you live, right? Like you had COVID
Yeah,
laws and
100%.
what they called the what is it when you had to be at home and but
Lockdowns.
Yeah.
lockdowns and
Quarantine.
the quarantine, yeah, and then
Yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. So we in a lot of ways you don't have to necessarily be someone exactly in the situation to be able to understand. So I appreciate that. Like if you've been someone who was on COVID lockdown at any point in the last 2 or 3 years, you probably relate to this, right? Like being stuck at home and like being told it's for your own good. And in many cases it might have been, right? We're not here to argue whether it was or wasn't, but I'm just saying like you could relate to this part of the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So
I guess we can be thankful they didn't send
yeah,
any
Maribot. And if
Morrow
you're in San
bots on us.
Francisco,
Yeah.
watch your
Get in
back.
your homes. Yeah.
Watch your back if you're in San Francisco, though. We don't know what kind of shit they're doing over there.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
We
true.
don't
That's
know what
true.
the hell they're
Maybe I
doing over
spoke too soon. Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon.
there.
Was
Careful.
but no, this is cool. And then going back like after this whole page, we just kind of see all the boss just patrolling kind of just all the different points in San Francisco and seeing all the different areas, and then just going back to this realm, and kind of just BB talking to some of her old troops.
I love how
Uh,
ethereal it is. Like everything just kind of floats up in the air. You see like candles floating. You see the the the,
yeah,
the,
it's
the
crazy.
yeah, the skull just floating up in the air. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, no, it really is, and just see in this issue we really kind of get the first like deep dive, like kind of just flashbacks into back to Afghanistan and kind of seeing that whole thing, and
There's
was
words
just
that trigger it, right? It's the line
yeah,
he says to her. What does he say? The lives you save get blurrier, but the
yeah,
ones you
yeah,
don't, they sit like scars, right? And then
scars,
and then they flash back.
name of the title,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and they flash back to the first time she heard it. And here in the case it's Afghanistan 2016. She's with the crew, and that's when does she say it? Yeah, I think she says it,
Yes,
right?
that's her
Yeah.
line. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
the
she
one who tells
says
it
it
to
doesn't
them.
get easier. You go to sleep at night and the lives you save get blurrier, but the ones you don't, they're like the ones you take. They don't fade, they sit like scars. Maybe you'll heal, but you don't ever forget. And she says, death is a thing here. You have to find a way to be okay with that. Damn, that was very intense. Very well written. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And even just like on a smaller scale, like on a smaller scale than that, just on a like just taking everything or just like I know like for a lot of people just taking all like negatives and highlighting those all more than the positives all the time. Like all those lives you saved all get blurry over time. You kind of forget about those things. You kind of take those for granted and kind of stop thinking about those things, especially well, when obviously this is a different scale, but kind of, kind of similar in that way. But yeah, no, I just love this whole dynamic with her troops and just seeing them all just like stick with her and just seeing like that dynamic, like they all just want her, like they want her to succeed. And I don't know, like I'm curious if this is actually like if this is just them, if this is like her self-conscious of like her creating them, or like if it's actually their spirits, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
No,
definitely
I'm
a
with
lot
you
to
on that
discover.
one. Yeah, I'm still very curious about that one. And it's interesting because she says, she's, she says to her, excuse me, she says to her line again, she says, take a breath, live with the consequences. And that's where she's like, all right, let's go home. It's time to get this done. And that's where we see again the no morrow, no sorrow, spray painted onto walls, all over Chinatown in San Francisco. And so, yeah, we see it's tense, right? Like even as Eddie's walking home, an officer tells him to put his arms up, and he's
Oh, he just straight
handling,
up points a gun at him. He doesn't
points a
even
gun at
like,
him, yeah,
yeah,
and he's
doesn't even
handling
wait for him to
another
say
dude
anything.
by his by his shirt, just like holding
Yeah,
him by the shirt, and that's where Officer Garcia comes and saves the day. She manages to intervene on his behalf and get him out of that situation. And that's where she's kind of asking about Bibi, like, where is she? We get another moment of Bibi, right? She's at the Battery Wagner just outside San Francisco, and we have this like epic moment where she says she's not ready to give anything up, and it's interesting because we see fully from her perspective, and we as the audience finally see that and Morrow is actually occupying the entire city because they've even done like the Dark Knight thing where they're closing off the bridges, right? Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, and yeah, Baby's ready to raise some hell, and yeah, we see on the next page she's suited up, she has a plan devised, and she engages. I find it interesting that this whole time Jimmy Moss and is it Corinne that's with him? Is that Corinne?
From the original board meeting in issue 3?
Yeah, she has
I think
blonde short
so.
hair. Yeah, yeah.
just
Yeah,
blonde
I
So
think
hair.
so.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
she
yeah,
dye her hair? She has the similar hairstyle, but I think
yeah.
different color. She had
Yeah.
purple hair in the front. I don't, yeah, I don't know.
It might just be the lighting, but either way, she has,
Yeah, it
she's
could be.
there. I think they're both the ones who are they have the enhancements in their skin
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, they're the only
Yeah,
ones. So yeah, so she says, "No, look at her. That's not a woman who's afraid of death." And yeah, that's where we see just Dead Lucky use her powers again. She takes control over the Marobots again, and just tells the person that they'd like to get through. And she tries to take on the fight on her own, but then she realizes like, okay, you can't really do that because there's so many Marobots. So she decides to retreat like strategically to figure out what to do. And that's where we're introduced to a really interesting new character who I really like, and that's Georgia. And I'm assuming I don't know if they explicitly say it or not, but I'm assuming she's Eddie's girlfriend, and she
I think
works
so.
in the media, right?
She
She's a
works as
publicist?
PR for
Yeah.
Morrow though. PR
Oh,
for Morrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, it was a cool character. I did want to just say, real quick, like BB, like all those dogs are kind of chasing BB. She gets them off her back in the moment. But you see how many freaking robots there are, like on that one
Yeah.
panel. Like, holy crap! It's like just like thousands and thousands of these things. So yeah, Can't wait to see just the extent, like how many she can take over at the time. Like if it's only like one of her troops can take over one robot. Like or if it's just if it might work completely different than that. Not too sure. But yeah. Getting back to that one page. Yeah, she kind of a different character. But yeah, no, really enjoyed her overall. And yeah, can't wait to see more of like her dynamic with Eddie and stuff. But yeah, intriguing.
Yeah. There's like a resistance almost, like some
Yeah,
Andor kind of shit, where
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody's like against Morrow. I like that aspect a lot, actually. I really like the
Yeah.
like underground aspect of it all. That's really cool. That's a really cool direction for this book. So yeah, I see. Like I like Georgia joining the team here, basically trying to help Bibiana get back on her feet and figure out a plan while also trying to understand what exactly her motivation is. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And we see actually in the next page we get an idea for what BB's motivation is because we see that we're going to the Castro district in San Francisco where the Salvation Gang actually is getting a Salvation Gang member is getting uh harassed by some Marobots and he's about to get captured, but that's when uh BB or Dead Lucky intervenes and she destroys the robot with Ghost, and she tells the issue ends with her attempting to strike a deal with the Salvation Gang by saying, "Look, we might not like each other, but we both love the city, so why don't we fight together and take it back?" I really like that. I thought that was really cool. And I just want to point out, it says next a shift in power.
Yeah.
Does that mean a certain shift is going to show up, or?
Oh my God.
Did
I
it
wouldn't
did
put it
even
past
I'm
study
just,
that's
I'm
why.
just,
Yeah,
I'm just,
never
I'm
put
just
it past this crew, but
Yeah.
no, that would be funny. But no, I love the ending to this. Like just like it just makes sense like on so many levels. Like they just have so many of the same goals right now, and yeah, they're just absolutely being harassed by Morrow. So yeah, why not work together and take them down? And I just kind of noticed here like all the Salvation gangs, they're wearing masks, and it looks like the lining on them is the exact same as like all the Morrow people, like their AI that's actually in their skin. So maybe these people are just using like a synthetic version or like a just version they can wear of that. It's not actually implanted in them. So yeah,
yeah,
just
This
can't wait to
guy,
more
this guy
about
in the
that.
middle actually has a robot arm too.
yeah. Holy shit,
Oh
I
yeah.
think
yeah,
they
shit. I
get
yeah,
their like
I
they get
totally
their
missed
tech
that.
from the River
Uh,
Girl, the Miracle Molly girl from last issue.
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. No, that's a great observation. I hadn't even noticed that right then. That's a very good observation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's like that, like the person from Boba Fett where they go to and they fix you up with all the droid
Yep.
parts and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything. So yeah, maybe that's what that
That's so
that girl's
cool.
job is.
I
Yeah, no,
hope I
that's
hope
freaking
that's
awesome.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, because those characters we need to get more. I need to see more of that woman from last issue who was helping Eddie. I need to see more and more
Happy
Georgia.
girl.
Georgia's awesome. And Kane. Fucking Kane. Kane is so cool. More Kane, please. That's
Yeah,
yeah,
just
very
more
cool Kane.
more characters in here. It's a little different. Like I think there's fewer like there's probably fewer characters, like the least amount of characters in this book, like at this point, across the massive verse. But I like that. Like it really like gives a spotlight to BB, and it's
It's very
really
personal.
been it's
Yeah,
yes, it's very
Yeah.
personal. It's a very
yeah.
personal
It's
story,
also just
which I
like four
absolutely love.
issues. I feel like
Yes,
by
yeah.
6 issues we'll have a little bit more. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I just mean like at this point, like through the rest of the
yeah,
books, we're already meeting like multiple families, like
yeah,
lots
yeah,
of
yeah.
different like rogues and stuff like that. But no, I love the way this book is paced too. Like it's
No,
just
I agree.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it sucked waiting a month for this one, but it flowed so well. And yeah, just reading this back like now, like just like yeah, back in trade, it's gonna be seamless. Like I honestly think like some of the Radiant Black issue as I feel like they're paced for that monthly schedule. And this is too. But like they don't have like this one was I can't really remember too many Radiant Black issues that like just like start with that next thing. Like they normally are pretty self-contained stories for the most part. But no, I love it.
No, I agree. And this was, for me, the best issue yet. I really
Yeah,
particularly
agreed.
enjoy this issue. I like the setup. I liked how it built up on the momentum from issue 3 and just executed a very just awesome issue. I like how each issue does a good job of incrementally like elevating the stakes, and you can tell it's just setting up for a very eventful arc, like a finale to the arc. And I'm sure like the second arc is gonna. I don't even know how long this arc goes. I'm just assuming it'll be 6 issues. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens. And I also really fucking love the covers. Like the covers are so cool. Like seriously, like even the next cover with the holographic BB, like in Jimmy Moss's hand, and the backgrounds with the X on Bibiana's uh yeah, French is channeling a lot of really iconic Silver Age, Bronze Age covers, cover layouts, and just doing his own thing with them and with the Dead Lucky and everything. I just really love that. I think that's super cool. So yeah, can't wait for the next issue, which I believe is titled Shift in Power. So we'll see if we get
Yeah.
our
Things might get a little shifty.
Yeah. Also looks
yeah.
like we'll see some more Mr. Moss getting up to no good. But just his
Him and Shift would make a good like
Yes,
they're
that's
some
true.
slippery
That's
bastards.
true.
So,
His
yeah.
motivations are just like he's so like blind in a way. Like going back to last issue, like they were talking about just like his whole team was trying to tell Mr. Moss like, hey, like you should be more passive on like the city. Like they respond to that better than being more forceful and stuff like that. And then Moss comes back, oh no, like this electric lady's out there doing all her forceful tactics and everyone loves it. So I'm just gonna come back and do the same thing. Like he's almost just like he's very blind in that way. Like he just has no
Yeah.
real sense of
Like he's used to getting what he wants, and
yeah,
he just
yeah.
wants what he wants. He don't give a shit. You
100%.
know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think he's gonna be set up to be a really good villain for sure. It's been really
Oh
intriguing
yeah.
so far.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget, we get another recipe at the end of this book.
Yeah.
Chai Mexicu's breakfast wrap, aka the BB wrap.
Ooh, Bibiana.
Yeah, BB Rap. I like that name. I like that
Yeah.
name.
This is also the first issue where we get the letter section for Dead
Yeah,
Lucky. So
there's some pretty nice letters in there actually.
yeah, there's some really sweet letters in there. So check it out if you wanna you wanna read some nice letters that people sent in. And yeah, I was really happy to
Yeah.
see
I
a lot of
I,
good
I love
letters.
I love Michael's. My name is Michael Basuto. I'm the editor and designer of this book. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think they know. I think that's more for us, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good. That's freaking awesome. Awesome. Loved it. Loved everything. Yeah, like you said, stakes just keep raising up. And
Yeah.
yeah, this book just freaking keeps getting better. All these issue fours. There's something about issue 4 with these Massiverse. I don't know what Basuto and Higgins are telling everyone to do, like making these extra special or whatnot. But seems to be the case for sure. And yeah, can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, and if you want to see more from Melissa Flores and Becca Carey, check out Radiant Pink, which is coming out in December 2022. I believe it's like, I think the 20th of December, 21st December, around that time, or maybe the 14th, one of those weeks. But yeah, Megan Camarena co-writing with Melissa Flores, Emma Kubert with Rebecca Nolte and Becca Carey, Radiant Pink, obviously, from Radiant Black, aka Eva. And we're excited for that one. We can't wait. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
enjoy The Dead Lucky and you want more from Melissa Flores and just more Masterverse in general, make sure you check out Radiant Pink. And before we go, I just wanted to give a massive shout out and thank you to our Patreons, which are Patrick and Noah. Thank you for your continued support and patronage. We appreciate everything that you guys do. And I'm gonna send a quick update soon to our patrons, sorry, for our next content drop, which is actually something unique, and you'll get to see it early before anyone else, and pretty exciting. And we're actually going to do some really cool things coming up in 2023 that are a bit different. So if if you've been having fun, it's going to get a lot more fun. And we're actually going to we're bringing back the tier list for Massiveverse tier
Yeah.
list, and it's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot bigger. It's gonna be
A
bigger.
lot
and
more
better.
context this
Yeah.
time. Like
Oh,
last
yeah.
year, like the first time it was more of like an anticipation
Yep.
list in a way. But no, this one's so many characters from all across the books.
Mhm.
So yeah,
All the
really can't
titles:
wait for
Dead
that one. It's
Lucky,
gonna be awesome.
Pink, Red Sun, Rogue Sun,
Yeah.
Radiant Red. All of them. We're gonna cover characters from all those
Yeah.
books. So come check it out as we discuss our and the community's favorite characters and what we believe their ranking should be on the tier list. And we'll obviously share it with the community. And yeah, as always, everyone, stay radiant.